I remember we were sitting in the Queen Vic. It was a scene between myself and Lucy Speed, who played my wife in it, Natalie. So we were doing the last scene of the day. We were doing the last lines of the day, the last setup. And I remember thinking, all I want to do is get in my car, drive back to Kent, get in my local and have a cold pint. That's all I wanted. So we got to the very last setup and we did the scene, and it was a good one. And they went, "Oh, we need to go again." I said, "Why?" They said, "Oh, sorry, there's a problem in the gallery." So they went again. Halfway through the scene, I feel this presence on my shoulder. What's that? I turn around, it's Michael Aspel with a book, right, a red book. And I'm like, wow, what the hell is going on here? I honestly, on my life, think it's for Lucy Speed, because she did a lot as a child actress, a lot. And I'm like, "Lucy, they got you." And they said, "No, it's for you." And everyone else sort of stood up and applauded and went mad. And I just felt really weird. Total shock. Yeah, I was gutted. On one level, I just thought, I just want to go to the pub. I'll be honest with you. Because I thought I'm just going to be embarrassed now the whole evening. I don't like having a fuss made out of me. But I never did. Not just because people make a fuss of you in the street and all that. I've never thrown a birthday party for myself. I hate being the centre of attention. And it's the worst programme in the world for being the centre of attention. I felt embarrassed. I felt very unworthy because I'd grown up watching the show, obviously, as we all did. And I'd seen Muhammad Ali on it. You know, Lord Mountbatten. And I'm like, what am I doing on this show? So you whisked away in a car, got to the studios and was put in a room so no one saw you. You're totally isolated from everybody else. They bring in food and drink. I asked for a beer. I got my beer. Yes. Yeah, I didn't have a clue who they were going to bring on. Because, again, I'm just not the sort of person who goes out and mingles with celebrities, you know. So I probably knew that a few of the EastEnders cast would be there because I'd gone on for other people. So my wife had provided some costumes for them, some of my smarter suits and things. So I made the decision on my wardrobe, and then before you know it, you march down, you stood behind the sliding doors, the music starts, and the doors open. It's just the most surreal feeling. I felt uncomfortable, unworthy. And then I saw all the faces dotted about. There were some lovely surprises. Obviously, my family were there. And that's one of the lovely things when you look back at it. And my gran's obviously dead. My dad's dead. You know, so there's obviously quite a few people that are there. My old headmaster, Henry O'Shea, and you know, he's dead. So it's lovely to capture that moment in time when everyone's there together and still healthy. So that's nice. I'll always have that record of that moment. I suppose I did eventually sort of give in and think that you know the pleasure of being one of the select few to have the book didn't kick in until afterwards. But I did think, just as if I'm forced to go to, if someone throws a surprise birthday party for me, you know, I'm furious with them. But after 15 minutes, you think, well, let's just enjoy it, you know. I thought, okay, just enjoy this because it's only going to happen once in your life. So yeah, and there were some great faces there. They'd obviously liaised with my wife, and she got it right with the people that were there. My oldest friends were there, people that I'd grown up with, and obviously my family members, and so you know, there was a nice smattering of people there, and representing my journey through life. People I've worked with at 1830s and in the Navy. But it was an accurate reflection of my life, that's all I can say. You know, everyone who was there I liked and would have put on a list myself. So I think they sort of pretty much got it right. I got surprised twice because Barry McGuigan sent a lovely message via video link because we were patrons of the same charity, and I've met him several times, and he was one of my heroes because I'm a massive boxing fan. So Michael Aspel asked me to name every heavyweight champion from 1888 to 1980, which luckily I managed to do. And asked me to sing Danny Boy because he knew my father was Irish, and we finished on a bit of the crack. So yeah, I was surprised twice, and luckily I managed to A, remember all the boxing champions, and B, remember the words to Danny Boy. Yeah. My daughter at the time, Sophie, I think was probably two or something, and she was brought on to the set, and what had happened was, I think. My wife said during rehearsals, every time she went on, she'd ran to my mum, was it? So that's what she was programmed to do was to run on and run to my mum. So of course they bring them on, and Sophie and I'm done like that, and she ran straight past me to my mum. You know, and I'm like, oh God, that looks good. But it's lovely. It's lovely to see her at an age like that. And of course, her and my mum were best friends and still are. It was just magic. So no, it was slightly embarrassing, but funny. Michael was great. He was a total gentleman. At the drinks afterwards, my biggest memory is that Michael Aspel stayed there pretty much until everyone had gone. He was almost the last person to leave. And he made a fuss of my mum and dad and my nan, and I thought he was great. The party was lovely because the cameras were off and I could walk around the room and sort of talk to people, some of whom I hadn't seen for a lot of years. So that was nice. I think there's a danger sometimes of, like, some people can go through their whole wedding day and not really enjoy it because the pressure's on them, and afterwards they have to just mingle and meet everyone, and before you know it, the day's over. I got that sort of feeling personally out of This Is Your Life, and I think I pulled it back just in time that I finally managed to enjoy it. So I would look back on it as a very positive experience, one that I wouldn't change in a million years. I've always said, you know, if there was a house fire, one of the first things I'd rescue would be the Red Book, because not everyone's got one, and it's very precious to me. But I'm certainly as proud as ever to have been on it, and it'll always be a highlight of my career anyway.